Repository administrators are responsible for controlling access to the repository. You can also use the repository to push a glossary and other shared models and resource files to users, and to deliver user profiles to simplify the Power Designer interface and set default values for menus, toolbars, toolboxes, options, and preferences. Administrators have access to the repository administration submenu. You can control the length, complexity, and lifespan of repository passwords by editing the password policy. Power Designer can delegate the authentication of some or all repository users to your existing Active Directory or other LDAP server. You can also specify an SMTP server to automate the sending of emails for passwords, change list submissions, and other notifications. You use user accounts, groups, rights, permissions, and folders to control access to repository documents. Whether you use Power Designer or LDAP to manage authentication, we recommend that you create user accounts and organize your users into groups to simplify the allocation of rights, which allow users to perform actions in the repository, and permissions, which allow users access to particular folders or documents in the repository. Users inherit and accumulate rights and permissions from all the groups they belong to. In this repository, the All Users group provides basic rights to everyone, while the Compliance group have additional rights to allow them to create branches and configurations, and the administrators have the full range of rights. In addition, one group is created for each project, and a folder is created to store documents for each of the projects in the repository. Here we see a standard workflow controlled by a range of permissions set for each folder. If we look at the permissions given on the sales folder, all users are free to consult any model. They have the read permission, which lets them check out documents, but not to check in modifications to them. The project members, here sales, do the day-to-day modeling work. They have the submit permission, which allows them to check in proposed changes to the documents in the form of change lists, which must be approved before they can be applied to the mainline version and become visible to other users. The compliance team review changes and decide whether they can be made. They have the write permission, which allows them to approve change lists and to make changes directly to documents. The administrators set up the environment and intervene if there are problems. They have full permission, which allows them to do anything to a document, including managing permissions. These permissions are inherited by default by any documents created in the folders, although they can be overridden. The special library folder is used to push shared models and resource files to users. Inside, there is a glossary, which contains recommended terms for naming objects, a conceptual data model containing company business rules, and an enterprise architecture model containing standard company objects that can be referenced in any model. Here, all users can suggest changes, which will be evaluated by the compliance group, and if appropriate, applied to the library. Changes to documents in the library are pushed to users whenever they connect or when they select Repository Synchronize Library. Administrators can also use the repository to customize Power Designer for different types of users via profiles. Profiles allow you to customize and simplify the Power Designer interface by hiding types of models, objects, and object properties, customize and simplify menus, toolbars, and toolboxes, and set appropriate defaults for options and preferences. For example, the Stakeholders group, which has read permission on all repository models, is associated with profiles that simplify the properties visible to them and provide a stripped-down set of menus and tools, as well as the standard corporate preferences profile. This video has provided a brief introduction to the main tools to use for administering the repository. For more information, see the Core Features Guide.